We're counting down the most rare and valuable old and dirty 1976 bicentennial quarters sitting in a drawer, jar, or pocket change, a rare mint error, unusual strike missing detail, or a valuable variety that makes it dramatically more collectible. These historic quarters were made to celebrate America's 200th birthday, and millions were produced. What if that old, dirty, 1976 bicentennial Eisenhower dollar sitting in a drawer, an old jar, or even forgotten in a box of coins could be worth far more than its $1 face value? And what if the dirt covering it is hiding the exact detail collectors are looking for? Before you throw it away, spend the next few minutes. The coin we're talking about today is the 1976 bicentennial Eisenhower dollar, the massive dollar coin created to celebrate America's 200th anniversary. At first glance, many of these coins look ordinary. They are big, heavy, often scratched, sometimes dark, stained, or downright dirty. But underneath that worn appearance is a fascinating story of changing designs, different varieties, silver versions, minting mistakes, and one extraordinary coin that collectors still talk about decades later. And here's the first mystery. The coin says 1776 to 1976, but there was never a 1975 dated bicentennial Eisenhower dollar. The mint actually began producing the bicentennial design in 1975, preparing the coins for the huge celebration. That means your 1976 coin has a story that began before the date printed on its face. And this is where things get interesting. Turn your coin over and look closely at the reverse. You should see the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon, with the inscriptions United States of America and $1 surrounding the design. Now look at those letters. Because there are two major reverse varieties, and knowing the difference could separate an ordinary circulated coin from a much more interesting collector piece. A 1976 Philadelphia Eisenhower dollar has an officially recorded PCGS auction record of $10,800 for an incredible MS-67 Plus example sold by Heritage Auctions in January 2024. That does not mean every dirty $1,976 is worth thousands. Most circulated examples are much more ordinary. But it proves something incredibly important: condition can completely change. Imagine finding one that has spent decades hidden away, protected from heavy circulation, and somehow survived with extraordinary surfaces. That is where the real treasure hunt begins. And there's another detail you absolutely need to check. Look for the mint mark. A 1976 bicentennial Eisenhower dollar without a mint mark can be completely normal if it is a regular Philadelphia circulation strike. Philadelphia produced huge quantities of these coins without a mint mark. AD means Denver. An S generally points you toward San Francisco and a collector issue. But don't stop there, because the metal matters. The regular circulating Philadelphia and Denver dollars were copper nickel clad, with a copper core. Special San Francisco bicentennial dollars were also made in 40% silver for collectors. That means two coins that look almost identical can have completely different compositions and collector. Now comes your next test. Pick up the coin and examine the edge. You are looking for the normal reeded edge, but you should also pay attention to the color. A normal copper nickel-clad Eisenhower dollar can reveal a copper-colored band when viewed from the edge. A genuine silver-clad example can look different because of its composition. But be careful. A dirty coin is not automatically a rare coin. A dark coin is not automatically a silver coin. And a strange-looking coin is not automatically an error. This is where collectors separate real hidden treasure from internet rumors. You need the date. You need the mint mark. You need the reverse variety. You need the condition. And if something looks genuinely unusual, you need professional authentication before believing a huge price claim. Now let's go deeper. Because the 1976 bicentennial Eisenhower dollar has a history that is much stranger than most people realize. What if that old, dirty, 1976 bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar sitting in your drawer is not worth 50 cents, but could be hiding a discovery worth hundreds, thousands, or potentially far more in an exceptional rarity? Before you throw it into a pile of ordinary change, stop, because that battered-looking bicentennial coin could contain a tiny detail that changes everything. Imagine finding a coin that has been passed from hand to hand for nearly half a century, covered in dirt, darkened by age, and almost forgotten. To most people, it looks like nothing special. But coin collectors know something most people don't. Sometimes the ugliest coin in the box has the most interesting story. And today, we're hunting one of America's most famous commemorative circulation coins, the 1976 bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar. This wasn't just another half-dollar. It was created during one of the biggest celebrations in American history, the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And the mint did something unusual. Instead of putting the normal Kennedy half-dollar reverse on these coins, the United States Mint created a special bicentennial design. Look closely. You'll see the familiar portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the front. But on the reverse, you'll find Independence Hall, surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America, half-dollar, and the dual date 1776 to 1976. That double date is your first clue. If you find a Kennedy half-dollar dated 1976 with 1776 to 1976, you're holding a genuine bicentennial issue. But don't stop there. Because the date alone does not make it rare. And this is where our hunt gets serious. The United States Mint produced enormous numbers of bicentennial Kennedy half-dollars. Millions upon millions were struck. So if you have one, don't assume you're holding a fortune. Instead, ask the questions serious collectors ask. And most importantly, what does the coin look like under magnification? Now turn that dirty coin over. Look around the edge. This is one of the most important tests you can perform. Many 1976 bicentennial Kennedy half-dollars were made from copper-nickel clad metal, while special collector versions were struck in 40% silver. That means two coins can look almost identical from the front but have completely different compositions. And that difference can make your old half-dollar much more interesting. Here's your first big reset. If you have a 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, pay very close attention. The S mint mark indicates San Francisco production, and San Francisco produced special collector versions of the bicentennial half-dollar, including silver-clad examples. But here's the catch. Not every 1976 S coin is automatically silver. That's why you cannot simply look at the S and declare, "I've found a fortune." You need to identify the exact issue. Look at the edge. A copper-nickel clad coin typically shows a copper-colored core line. A silver-clad example can have a different edge appearance. But don't trust your eyes alone. A magnet test is not enough to prove silver, and color can be misleading. The safest approach is professional testing when the composition matters. Now let's talk about the coin that collectors really dream about. Condition. Because here's something most people don't understand. A coin can be almost 50 years old and still have a surprisingly high grade if it was protected from circulation. Think about it. A coin struck in 1976 could have gone directly into someone's collection, sat untouched for decades, and survived with brilliant surfaces. Another coin struck on the exact same day could have spent years bouncing around in pockets, cash registers, and vending machines. Same date. Same basic design. Completely different collector value. That is why you need to examine the surfaces. Look at Kennedy's cheek. Look at the fields around the portrait. Look at the lettering. Look for scratches, marks, dullness, cleaning, and discoloration. Then inspect the reverse. Look at Independence Hall. Look for contact marks. Look for unusual doubling. Look for areas where the design appears strangely distorted. And don't forget the rim. The rim should be examined carefully for signs of an off-center strike, clipped planchet, abnormal metal, or other minting problem. Because a genuine mint error can completely change the story. And this is where things become exciting. Collectors have encountered a wide range of mint errors and varieties on Kennedy half dollars, including doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die breaks, struck-through errors, broad strikes, and other striking abnormalities. But here's the rule you must remember. Damage is not the same thing as an error. If someone dropped the coin, scratched it, drilled it, heated it, polished it, or damaged it after leaving the mint, that usually isn't a valuable mint error. A genuine mint error happened during the manufacturing process. And here's another shock. Some collectors specifically search old coins because circulation and storage can hide the important details. What if I told you that an old, dirty, 1976 bicentennial $quarter hiding in your drawer, coin jar, or an inherited collection could be worth thousands of dollars? And what if one tiny detail on that battered-looking quarter is the difference between an ordinary 25 cents and a genuine collector treasure? Before you spend it, clean it, or throw it back into a jar, stop, because today we're hunting one of the most famous quarters in American history. You may be holding a coin that millions of Americans once carried in their pockets during the celebration of the nation's 200th birthday. But here's the mystery. Some 1976 bicentennial quarters are ordinary. Some are silver. Some are exceptionally high grade. Some have valuable mint errors. And a tiny number can bring astonishing prices when rarity and condition come together. So if you have a dirty 1976 quarter right now, don't look away. Grab it. Because we're about to examine exactly what could make it valuable. The first thing you need to understand is that this isn't a normal Washington quarter. Look at the date. Instead of a single year, you'll see 1776 to 1976. That dual date commemorates 2 centuries of American independence. And turn the coin over. Instead of the normal eagle, you'll see a colonial drummer with a torch and 13 stars. The design was created specifically for the bicentennial celebration, and it turned an ordinary quarter into a little piece of American history. But here's the first shock. The U.S. Mint struck more than 2 billion bicentennial quarters. So simply finding a 1976 quarter doesn't mean you found big money. In fact, most circulated examples are worth only a modest amount above face value, if anything. But that's exactly what makes the hunt so exciting. Because when millions of coins are produced, the rare ones can hide in plain sight. And sometimes the difference is microscopic. Now let's examine your coin. Start with the date. You want 1776 to 1976. Next, look for the mint mark. On the obverse, underneath Washington's neck, you'll find the mint mark. AP means Philadelphia. AD means Denver. And S means San Francisco. And that little letter matters. A lot. Because San Francisco produced special collector versions of the bicentennial quarter, including 40% silver examples. And now we're getting closer to the hidden treasure. If your 1976 quarter has an S mint mark, don't immediately assume it's worth thousands. There were millions of 1976 S bicentennial quarters. But you need to determine whether you're looking at a clad coin, a silver coin, or a proof. And that's where the edge becomes extremely important. Turn the coin sideways. Look carefully at the edge. A normal copper nickel-clad quarter usually reveals a copper-colored stripe through the edge. A genuine silver-clad bicentennial quarter has a different appearance because its composition is 40% silver. But don't rely on color alone. Lighting, toning, dirt, and environmental damage can make a coin appear silver when it isn't. If you suspect silver, have the coin professionally tested rather than damaging it yourself. And here's a fact that might surprise you. The Mint produced about 11 million silver bicentennial quarters at San Francisco. That sounds rare compared with the billions of clad pieces, but it still doesn't mean every silver quarter is worth thousands. The real excitement begins when silver, exceptional condition, proof status, or a genuine error comes together. And this is where our hunt takes a dramatic turn. Because condition can transform a common-looking coin into a serious collector piece. Imagine 2 quarters struck in 1976. One immediately enters circulation. It bounces around pockets. It gets scratched. It hits vending machines. It spends decades exposed to dirt and friction. The other goes directly into a collection. Nobody spends it. Nobody handles it. It sits protected for decades. Same date. Same basic design. Completely different condition. And collectors can pay enormous premiums for exceptional grades. PCGS currently lists an auction record of $19,200 for a 1976 silver bicentennial quarter in mint state. That's an extraordinary result for an extraordinary coin, not a price you should expect for an ordinary circulated quarter. Read that number again. $19,200. For a quarter. That is why serious collectors inspect these coins so carefully. But here's the important part. Your dirty quarter doesn't need to be perfect to be interesting. It needs to be examined. So look closely at Washington's portrait. And this brings us to one of the biggest traps in coin collecting. Damage. A scratch is not automatically an error. A dent is not automatically an error. A strange color is not automatically an error. A coin that has been squeezed, scraped, polished, chemically treated, or damaged after leaving the mint is usually just a damaged coin.